Welcome back, warrior. We're doing Judges chapter 7. We are in the story of Gideon and the Midianites, so it's super fun. Okay, Gideon's army is reduced to 300. Do we remember this? I don't know. I remember it, but not all the details, right? They frighten the Midianite armies with trumpets and lights. The Midianites fight among themselves, flee, and are defeated by Israel. So powerful, this story. Okay. Then Jerubbaal, who is Gideon, and all the people that were with him rose up early and pitched beside the well of Herod, so that the host of the Midianites were on the north side of them, by the hill of Moreh in the valley. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, mine own hand hath saved me. Right? Isn't that the case sometimes? It's like, oh, well, we fought and the Lord didn't do it. It was our strength. We were the ones who did all that hard work, right? And so I wonder if sometimes the Lord is waiting for us to reduce ourselves to absolutely the bare minimum before he can perform those miracles, because maybe we're too controlling, and then he can perform the miracle because then we know that it was only by the Lord that miracle happened. So verse 3, now therefore go to proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And there returned of the people 22,000, and there remained 10,000. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many. Bring them down unto the water, and I will try them. And I will try them for thee there. And it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, this shall go with thee, the same shall go with thee. And of whomsoever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee, the same shall not go. So he brought down the people unto the water, and the Lord said unto Gideon, every one that lappeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog lappeth, him shall thou set by himself. Likewise, everyone that boweth down upon his knees to drink, like this, okay, and the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300 men. But all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink water. Wait, now I'm confused. Hold on. Okay, so it was those people who drank like this. There was only 300 of them, and everybody else drank like a dog. There was the rest of them, they had to go home. So and it says, verse 7, and the Lord said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that lapped will I save you, and deliver the Midianites unto thine hand, and let all the other people go, every man unto his place. So the people took victuals in their hand, and their trumpets, and he sent to all the rest of Israel, every man unto his tent, and retained those 300 men, and the host of Midian was beneath him in the valley. Okay, so wouldn't this be so scary? Gideon's already this is going to be hard. So he got all those people, 3,200 or 32,000, and he's probably okay, I think we can do this. And now the Lord has reduced them to 300 people, and I'm betting he is wigging out. And all the people, all the soldiers that were in the army were also in probably wigging out, because they had to go back to their tents, and they're this is not working. This is not going to work, right? You could just hear everybody in the tents. I don't know why they made us come home. They need me, but hey, I guess it's better than me dying, right? Because I bet that's what they thought. I bet they're oh, okay, great. These guys are all going to die, and good thing we're not there, kind of thing, right? It feels very Beast Games, like Mr. Beast put this challenge up or something, and it's let's take some video of everybody in their tents that got to be sent home, and let's take video of all the 300 people who actually are staying and see how nervous they are, right? That would be so cool. Okay. So it came to pass. So we're on verse 9. The same night that the Lord said unto him, arise, get thee down unto the host, for I have delivered it into thine hand. But if thou fear to go down, go thou with Purah thy servant down to the host, and thou shalt hear what they say. And afterward shall thy hands be strengthened to go down unto the host. Then went he down with Purah his servant unto the outside of the armed men that were in the host. And the Midianites and the Amalekites and all the children of the east lay along in the valley like grasshoppers for multitude, and their camels were without number, as the sand by the seaside for multitude. Oh boy. And when Gideon was come, behold, there was a man that told a dream unto his fellow, and said, Behold, I dreamed a dream, and lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the host of Midian, and came unto a tent, and smote it that it fell, and overturned it that the tent lay along. And his fellow answered and said, This is nothing else save the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, a man of Israel, for into his hand hath God delivered Midian and all the host. Verse 15. And it was so, when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and the interpretation thereof, that he worshipped and returned unto the host of Israel, and said, Arise, for the Lord hath delivered into your hand the host of Midian. And he divided the 300 men into 3 companies, and he put a trumpet in every man's hand, with empty pitchers and lamps within the pitchers. And he said unto them, Look on me, and do likewise. And behold, when I come to the outside of the camp, it shall be that as I do, so shall ye do. When I blow the trumpet, I and all that are with me, then blow ye the trumpets also on every side of the camp, and say, The sword of the Lord and of Gideon. So Gideon and the 100 men that were with him came unto the outside of the camp in the beginning of the middle watch. And they had but newly set the watch. And they blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers that were in their hands. And the 3 companies blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers, and held the lamps in their left hands and the trumpets in their right hands to blow withal. And they cried with the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. And they stood every man in his place round about the camp. And all the hosts ran and cried and fled. And the 300 blew the trumpets, and the Lord set every man's sword against his fellow, even throughout all the hosts. And the hosts fled to Bethshida in Zerath, and to the border of Abel Meholah unto Tabith. And the men of Israel gathered themselves together out of Naphtali and out of Asher and out of all Manasseh, and pursued after the Midianites. And Gideon sent messengers throughout all Mount Ephraim, saying, Come down against the Midianites, and take before them the waters unto Bethbara and Jordan. Then all the men of Ephraim gathered themselves together, and took the waters unto Bethbara and Jordan. And they took 2 princes of the Midianites, Oreb and Zeb, and they slew Oreb upon the rock Oreb, and Zeb they slew at the winepress of Zeb, and pursued Midian, and brought the heads of Oreb and Zeb to Gideon on the other side Jordan. Holy smokes, right? A lot of stuff just happened. So much stuff went down. Okay, President Russell M. Nelson said this about how the Lord often works. The Lord has often chosen to instruct his people in their times of trial. Scriptures show that some of his lasting lessons have been taught with examples terrible as war, and commonplace as childbearing, or obvious as hazards of deep water. His teachings are frequently based on common understanding, but with uncommon results. Indeed, one might say that to teach his people, the Lord employs the unlikely. Warfare, for example, has been known since time began. Even in that ugly circumstance, the Lord has helped those obedient to his counsel. Going into battle, all would assume the obvious advantage of outnumbering an enemy. But when God's disciple Gideon was leading an army against the Midianites, the Lord said unto Gideon, The people that are with thee are too many, lest Israel vaunt themselves, saying, Mine own hand hath saved me. End quote. President Russell M. Nelson, with God nothing shall be impossible. April 1988 General Conference. Ooh, I want to hear that one again. Something that stands out to me is that I don't necessarily think that the Lord is not trying to teach us at other times. I just think that because of those hard times, that is when we are so much more humble and willing to listen and learn, because now our situation is dire and we're getting desperate. And when we get desperate, our spirit longs for home and longs for the truth, right? And so we reach up to God. And it's sad that we have to wait until we are being tortured or abused or something, to really have a deeper relationship with God and with Jesus Christ. But it seems that that's the case, right? Through my journey of healing after betrayal, like it's the same, right? That like my whole earth was shattered. And I thought that I had a good relationship with my Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ. But since then, it has been completely different, like than what I ever thought I had. And so, I don't know, I think, and it's not that I didn't love Jesus before, right? But it's that he can use those hardships in our lives to strengthen us if we reach out to him, right? If I would have been bitter instead of trying to reach for the Lord, if I would have been completely not wanting to do anything with him, my relationship would not have changed, right? It would have morphed into some kind of bitter attitude, and I would have been unhappy. So I don't think that I would have experienced any healing. I would have been stuck, I think, in my pain, because I wasn't allowing Christ into my life to help heal my pain, right? And which is the whole reason why I love sharing my story, because I want to make sure that women know that you're going to be okay if you allow the Lord to stay with you during your healing journey. You're going to be okay. But if you don't, then things are not going to be okay. It's going to get worse, and that's not going to be good for anyone. Okay, then Josephus has another explanation for what went down. But Gideon was in great fear, for God had told him beforehand that he should set upon his enemies in the nighttime. But God, being willing to free him from his fear, bid him take one of his soldiers and go near the Midianites' tents, for that he should from that very place have his courage raised and grow bold. So he obeyed and went and took his servant Purah with him. And as he came near to one of the tents, he discovered that those that were in there were awake, and that one of them was telling to his fellow soldier a dream of his own, and that so plainly that Gideon could hear him. The dream was this: he thought he saw a barley cake, such as one as could hardly be eaten by men. It was so vile, rolling through the camp and overthrowing the royal tent and the tents of the soldiers. Now the other soldier explained this vision to mean the destruction of the army, that the seed called barley was all of it allowed to be of the vilest sort of seed, and that the Israelites were known to be the vilest of all people of Asia, agreeably to the seed of barley. Oh, wow. End quote. Interesting. So yeah, they overheard the people speaking, and because of this fear, it's probably why also they were able to win, right? So this is Josephus' Antiquities of the Jews, book 5. So he learned how scared they were of him, who had rise as a leader of the Israelite army, who has risen. I'm like, why does that word sound weird? Risen as the leader of the army. That realization emboldened Gideon, and we will see, and we saw how that fear that the enemy felt will be the very weapon that will destroy them, right? So fear will destroy us because it weakens us. President James E. Faust said, "The Lord has a great work for each of us to do. You may wonder how this can be. You may feel that there is nothing special or superior about you or your ability. Perhaps you feel or have been told that you are stupid. Many of us have felt that, and some of us have been told that. Gideon felt this when the Lord asked him to save Israel from the Midianites. Gideon said, My family is poor in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. He had only 300 men, but with the help of the Lord, Gideon defeated the armies of the Midianites. And the Lord can do remarkable miracles with a person of ordinary ability who is humble, faithful, and diligent in serving the Lord and seeks to improve himself. This is because God is the ultimate source of power. End quote. President James E. Faust, Acting for Ourselves and Not Being Acted Upon, October 1995 General Conference. Yes, that is what it's all about, because God is the ultimate source of power. Okay, that is it for chapter 7, and we don't have a read it, live it, because the read it, live it was from Judges chapter 6. So until Judges chapter 8, stay strong, warrior.